Game Genies is an explicit.
No, what?
What?
The f***?
What?
It's not like you're just like a robot man over here.
Wow.
You just went right into it. You weren't even going to let me do a little like thing.
Oh, you want to do a thing? Do a thing. Go ahead. Go,
I'm
go,
hungover.
go.
I don't actually want to do a thing because I just feel like.
Go.
Okay, so it's New Year's Day.
Yep. Come on, man.
Football.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Come on, man.
You go for me. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. It's gonna take. I need to
Game
take
Genies explicit podcast. Or is this? This isn't even Game Genies. This is between two seasons.
What are we doing in this world?
Between two seasons. Between two seasons.
Between Two Seasons is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Welcome to Between Two Seasons, the two-man nerdy podcast of your Jizzy Dream.
Is this still the intro? What are we doing?
My name is Fred. I'm joined
by Ryan.
By this little cocksucker over here.
Yeah.
Say your name.
I said my name is Ryan already, you fuck.
This is Ryan.
You know what? I know what will help this hangover. Hold on.
The champs is here.
They call it the hair of the dog or something? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, when you're hungover and you drink because you have alcoholism, they call it hair of the dog.
Well, the alcoholism thing is not needed. But it's true. Anyway, explain to the listeners what we're doing at the moment. It's the first time we're trying this out.
Right now, yeah, we're actually live streaming our podcast to our Instagram. And Ryan and I are both on here separately. They have it so that because we have to record in separate rooms because Ryan's too loud.
Fuck off.
We are on the Instagram in separate windows. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, speaking of which, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, subscribe to us not only on Between Two Seasons, but on Game Genies podcast, and then also if you want to find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you can find us at
Game Genies Cast.
You can also find us on our website, www.GameGeniesCast.com.
Yep. So it is the new year. We are recording this on New Year's Day.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to 2020, Fred.
Welcome to 20 motherfucking 20.
I see you're fumbling with the camera right now.
Well, don't worry about it. I'm still talking.
Jeez, Louise.
Favorite moment of 2020?
For me?
Yeah.
Can I do my worst moment?
Yeah.
No, you know what the worst moment's going to be. I'm not going to bring it up.
I don't think I know.
I don't know. My mom passing away?
No,
Jesus.
2020. I said favorite moment of 2020.
I thought we were doing the 2019
buzzkill.
thing. Fuck me. Sorry. Favorite moment of 2020? Well, I'm actually celibate.
Spit it out.
Shut up.
Spit it.
I'm celibate so far in 2020.
Me too.
So that's good. That's actually my biggest accomplishment.
Wait, does your hand count?
It does.
Oh, I'm not celibate then.
Oh. I still am. We'll see how the day
progresses.
Yeah, that's why I want to
No,
say.
I meant your hand.
I know what the fuck you meant, Fred.
So I'm saying I fucked your hand. Right?
Oh, that was the joke. Sorry. Give me a couple more sips of champs and I'll be with it.
Okay.
Okay, but my favorite moment so far of 2020, probably I ate a grilled cheese.
You did?
At like 5 in the morning. Yeah. Because we stayed up till like 5. We had a party last night at the house.
New Year's Eve party.
We had some fun. We'll get into some of the stuff we did a little bit later. But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do we got? What do we got going
It's
on?
fine. It's been fine. My favorite part of the new year is I woke up at noon, which, if you average the time that I woke up over this past year, it's probably 1 or 2.
I'd say closer to 2. Don't fucking.
And I'm drinking coffee, so you know what? I'm happy.
You're drinking coffee right now at 3:30. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I wake up to go to a job at proper hours.
Well, what do you think that we should kick this off with? Why don't we just start off with how we spent our New Year's Eve because we played a lot of games, a lot of different kinds of games.
We did. You posted on I think Twitter. Maybe we'll do it on the Instas. But pretty much you bought whenever iFix Arcade was closing down.
Yep. iFix Arcade in South Slope, Brooklyn.
Which we used to talk about on the
RIP.
podcast all the time on Game Genies. Because it was a great... Explain to the listeners that are not familiar with it what the fuck it is.
iFix Arcade was a little arcade owned by one dude tucked away in a building.
Chris Velasquez.
Yep. Tucked away off of a random street in Brooklyn in a random building.
It was like an office building that like law firms would maybe rent
Yeah.
out like an office or just like it was a multi-tenant space pretty much.
Yeah, but it was BYOB. You pay $10. You can play as long as you want on any machine in that day. And they had mostly fighting games. They had PlayStations, Xboxes, PCs hooked up with like every fighting game on them. They had legit cabinets, Street Fighter 2 cabinets, all sorts of shit. And they knew how to switch out cards on these cabinets, so there was always something cool in there. Unfortunately, the business model, or maybe it was just the support, was not enough, and they were forced to go out of business. So I was lucky enough to be able to pick up a really nice joystick, like old school cabinet setup that has two sticks side by side, made for fighting games or arcade games of any kind, really. And we hooked that up last night. We put it all together. It's kind of a beast, right? It's kind of big.
Yeah, it's a little big. You and Brandon had to deal with.
Yeah, B-Pain helped me set it up, and we had a blast. We played Dragon Ball Fighters
in the media room. Yeah, with the projector and everything like that. We hooked up to the PlayStation that's in there, and it was fucking awesome. Yeah, it
you
was
have to
almost
say
like
Fighters because that's technically how they want you to say it.
Fighters.
Yeah, it's not Fighter Z. It's Fighters.
Is that true?
With a Z. Yes,
Everyone calls it Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
That's because they feel stupid saying Fighters with a Z.
And I do too. So let's just keep calling it Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Okay.
Point is, in the media room with the double arcade stick was fucking awesome. I can think of some other like games that would just be fun arcade games we could play, like co-op ones, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I downloaded a bunch of old Namco arcade games like Pac-Man, things like that.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of arcade games on my Steam library that we can take out my. I have that Steam thing that
Steam box.
The Steam, yeah, whatever it is.
Steam Link.
Steam Link. You hook it up to your fucking TV. It'll stream from your PC. We can bring that up here and do that.
That would actually be a blast. Yeah, because that's another great thing. This fight stick that you got, it plugs in just USB, so it plugs into Xbox, PlayStation, or a PC, right?
All right. So let's get on to New Year's Eve.
Jesus.
No, I get what you're saying, but let's get on New Year's Eve because we played a bunch of really fun games. We played those. We played Tekken 7. That was great. Jackbox games, which you had wanted to play one of the games on there.
You and Brandon both don't know about this game. It's called Push the Button, and it's essentially like a werewolf or Secret Hitler style game within Jackbox. But what it is, you'll like draw something on your phone, but there's one person that's obviously the traitor. I think it's like the alien on the ship because it's in a spaceship. So somebody is an alien on the spaceship, and everyone's trying to figure out who it is. And so you have to like vote at the end of each round on who the alien is, but the alien can like fuck with answers or make things different. So you're trying to not only on your phone, but also maybe talking to other people in the room, like, well, hey, he did this. You're trying to make it seem like other people, if you are the alien, you're trying to make it seem like you're a human and that the other humans are aliens, because how you win is everyone gets each other off the ship, or I think there's a timer of like 5 minutes that counts down, and if it goes down to 0, the alien wins.
Right.
The people win if they actually eject the alien.
Gotcha. So this is similar to other games that we like Secret Hitler.
Oh, like Werewolf, or there's what's the other one? Fuck me. There's another really good one that we play. I can't remember. We would end up playing Secret Hitler because that's like the best
Terrorist
one.
Town.
Oh, Trouble in Terrorist Town is very similar, but then that's a Gary's mod.
Yeah, I mean that's more of an
Counter-Strike
action game, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does Monkey try to text me while we're recording, thinking I'm gonna like read his text?
I don't know.
What is he doing?
Tell him to.
Join the chat. I can at least kind of look at that a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
we had a load of fun. I played Just Dance for the first time on the Switch, and I only used the hand. I'm not a dancer, so I just did the hand movements, but I did really good. I got a lot of points. And you did too. You did good too.
Isn't that the song? Is it called Tiny Dancer?
I have no. What?
Is it not the Elton John song?
Yeah, but where'd that come
Hold
from?
me, baby, tiny dance.
No, that's not how he says it.
I don't know what he says, but just okay. It doesn't matter. Yes, I hate Just Fucking Dance. I hate dancing in general.
Yeah.
So Just Dance is not fun. And Jake the Steak friend of the show,
He loves that shit.
he's like, it'll be fun. We're just gonna do it.
It was fun. They were having fun.
They were having fun, but I don't have fun doing it. I look like I'm doing the happy dance from baseball. Remember that when he's like, "Come on, do the happy dance." He's like, "I don't want to do it." He goes, "Do it." He goes, "Doing the happy dance. I'm doing the happy dance." That's me. That was me last night.
Yeah, me too. Except I only did one hand. I didn't even do the other hand. I literally stood in one spot.
I looked at you and I was like, "That's exactly probably how I looked when I was playing it."
Okay.
Oh, then it was a great New Year's party though. We had annoyingly loud karaoke upstairs though, so it was just like everything's fucking. People talking here, people talking there.
Yeah.
People, so one kid at one point took a shit on the downstairs.
A kid?
Well, he's 11. His name's Chewy.
It's a
Chewbacca.
dog.
He's my kid.
It's a dachshund.
He's scared of the fireworks, so he couldn't go outside because he's a little bitch about it. So he pooped on the floor. It's fine. I was expecting him to do that. As long as he didn't do it on the carpet, it was actually better. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, we ring in the new year. We're alive. I haven't drank in a week, and I feel good.
I haven't drank in one day.
You're drinking, as you said.
I was thinking of spider days, and each day is like a second.
Spider Day.
Because a spider's lifetime is a lot shorter.
God.
So it's kind of like dogs, 7 years.
So spiders are like thousands of years old.
No, if they were to be our age, but they die before they hit like the actual sun circles around the fucking earth.
A spider can live for like a week at least.
Did I just say
right?
the sun's fucking the sun spins around the earth? I just literally went back to the old fucking school days of thinking that the earth was in the center of the goddamn universe.
Wow.
Or solar system, either way. Earth revolving around the sun 33 times, Fred, then a spider would be thousands of years old.
No, that's
Spiders
not true.
die quicker than that, so therefore a day in the life of a spider is like a fucking second in our lifetime.
Okay.
And it's now been 60
It would
days.
actually take 16 minutes for a spider to become 1,000 years old. I just did the math, just so you know.
See, oh, shit. I didn't do that right then.
Yeah. So in one full day, a spider can be thousands of years old.
Well, in those spider days I was talking about, I haven't drank in 60 spider days, but I'm now about to break that by drinking. That was the entire explanation of that.
In 60 spider days. God damn it.
Okay, we're done with... Let's move on to some actual fucking news. You want to hit me with wrestling, TV, or movies? Where do you want to go?
Let's start with something else, because I know a lot of people don't watch wrestling, so I don't want to kick it off with that.
Okay.
Let's talk about... You want to talk about The Witcher? Everyone's talking about The Witcher.
Well, you just jumped in the middle of the fucking...
Well, yeah,
list
I mean,
here.
but
that's fine. We can. All right, so Witcher is now #1 streamed show, I think, in the world, if not just the U.S. It's overtaken The Mandalorian for most streams.
Mm-hmm. You think that's because you can binge Witcher, whereas Mandalorian was spread out. But unless... No, I mean, I think it's just like total viewership. I mean...
I didn't look into how they fucking judge. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's a very popular show.
Yeah.
And you know what? Our buddy Nate was talking so much shit about it, and he was like, "Oh, I read the books and I played the game. This show sucks." He finished the fucking show because I was like, "Actually, watch it. It's good." I fucking binged it last week during Christmas, and turns out he loved it.
Yeah. So that has actually translated to more popularity in other Witcher-related things, such as The Witcher 3, which is the most popular of the 3 games that were made about The Witcher. And so there's a lot more viewership now on Twitch. So, people are always streaming everything like all the time on there. But now, Witcher got a little bump up in the ranking there. I don't know how long that'll last. I mean, I'm sure people just want more Witcher in general. So,
Right.
and this is a prequel, right?
Oh, so this
The
is
show.
actually the show is actually the first 2 books, but the first 2 books of The Witcher were a collection of short stories that the author published in like magazines and stuff like that in the 80s. He combined them and then made them into full books some point in the 90s. So it's based off of those collections of short stories, which is The Last Wish, I believe, and there's one more. I should fucking know it. I don't. Be happy I even know what I just said. It's very well done, though. It definitely takes place years before the first game. And the thing is, here's what's interesting about the first game, Fred. Yennefer, who's a main character in the story, especially in Wild Hunt, The Witcher 3, she is a big part of this story and the books. He gets amnesia or something like that at some point, and so in the first 2 games, she's not even in there because he doesn't remember her. And she comes back in the 3rd game. It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway,
Because of The Witcher, though, do you want to tack on some other stuff regarding Wild Hunt, which is the third Witcher game? A lot of people are either buying it or playing it right at the moment because, yeah, it is.
So just The Witcher in general is getting a nice bump.
Exactly. And the thing is, The Witcher 1 and 2, you don't really have to play them if you want to just jump into 3, because 3 actually, it's only been like 4 years, but it's still aged very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Blood and Wine, which is one of the DLC packs, is absolutely stunning from what I've heard. I haven't played it, but I do want to play. I want to get pretty much past The Witcher 3 just so I can go play Blood and Wine. I just said Blood and Honey. Blood and Wine, that's the name of a beer. That's where my
Blood
mind
and
is.
honey.
Anyway, apparently that game, that DLC, is almost like another third of the entire Witcher 3 game. So it's like a full 20, 30 hours, I think, of a game. Which is badass. Anyway, check it out. You don't have to play the first 2 Witcher games if you want to jump into 3, because it pretty much gives you a lot of the backstory. And the first 2 games don't really hold up at the moment. Maybe they'll do a remake one day, CD Projekt Red, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, Witcher. People like it.
Yep.
Move the fuck on.
All right. Let's move on to Quiet Place 2. A trailer just dropped this morning, and this has actually been a theme the last couple of weeks. We've like woken up to some new trailers of pretty like prominent shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So you showed this to me, probably thinking I was going to guess what it was, but I haven't actually seen A Quiet Place 1. So why don't you explain what this looked like to you? Because I don't know what I could possibly assume or.
No, you're fine. Yeah, it's fine. So this dropped today. Quiet Place 2 trailer. Looks great. Emily Blunt's back along with the 2 kids. And fun fact that I mentioned to you before the cast, the daughter on both movies is actually deaf in real life. And so I like how
authentic.
Yeah, given with the story, it is very authentic. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. So because she's deaf, like sign language in the first movie is a big part, because if you're not familiar with the plot of the first movie and the second, obviously, it's that some sort of aliens or mutants, fucking something invaded the Earth and like killed off the entire Earth, and they hear like everything. So they only can track you by sound. So everyone has to be fucking quiet as shit. So yeah, I'm gonna fuck up her name, but Millicent Simmons, she is the one who plays the daughter that is actually deaf in real life. So the actors like actually learn sign language, which makes sense with the plot because you have to like sign in order to not make noise if you want to communicate. John Krasinski though is the one that wrote and directed it.
Jim
from The Office. So John Krasinski, he directed it. He is a main character as well in the first one. I'm not going to mention if he's on the second one or not. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't.
Okay.
But the point is, yeah, it looks very promising. Cillian Murphy is in this one as well.
Not
the
to be
new one?
confused with Killian Dane. The
No
worst
one would confuse him with
wrestling
a
personality.
fucking no-name wrestler, Fred. No one's confusing him with that.
I did.
But anyway, he is he's in the new one, which if you remember him, he was also in 28 Days Later, which is one of my favorite horror post-apocalyptic
I love that
movies
movie.
as well. John Krasinski returns, though, for writing and directing credits on Quiet Place 2.
Noise.
I would say it comes out in March. I mean, that's only 2 months away.
Yeah.
Very, very. I went and saw the first one in theaters, which I usually don't go see like horror movies when they come out, but we did. It's more like horror suspense, I would say.
Yeah. The first one is on.
Oh, yeah, I think you can stream it at the moment, either on the Netflix, the Amazon.
I'm going to
or
tell
the
you.
Hulus.
I'm going to tell you in just a sec.
Okay, Fred's looking it up.
Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, if you have
check
Amazon
it out.
Prime, you can watch A Quiet Place right now. I'm going to watch it, and then I'll be
watch
ready.
it with you. I'll watch it in the media room with you. It'll be fun.
Cool.
Anyway, so that's exciting.
Cool.
That's the main like trailer that's come out in the last week, I think.
Yeah, and there's not a ton of gaming news this week, but Redbox has announced they're going to stop putting games in their kiosks for rental. They're going to be focusing solely on movie rental for 2020 moving forward.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I always wonder like what the business model was for that, because think about the difference in pricing and how many people are actually going to use it. Here's the thing. Redbox for a Blu-ray or something like that, they're probably getting it at cost to some extent, so it's like maybe like, I don't know, $15, $20, but those prices range a little bit more than a video game. A video game is just like $60. They might be getting a deal on what games they buy, but maybe not. And so think about this. You're paying for a $15 disc that people can just keep renting, and you're getting like $1 or $2 a day from. Or you're doing a game, which I think is like only $1 more. It was only like $3 a day or some shit.
Yeah.
But you're paying so much more for that. And think about the amount of people that are actually getting movies. You know, we're talking about families and shit like that. Think about the amount of people that are actually renting games from Redbox. It made no sense monetarily, and I was always wondering how that was a good business model when it came to game rentals.
Honestly, Redbox, like if I worked for Redbox, I would analyze the need for it because, like, okay, like look what's working for Xbox, you know, in the Game Pass.
Yeah, streaming.
If Redbox tried to get some sort of Game Pass, they could get on with Stadia or something like that and try to get in the door that way.
I like that idea. And that could be something that they would announce in the future. That might be why they're moving away from physical disc rentals when it comes to games. Maybe because they have a Redbox app that you can stream movies from.
If there was some way for them to get in on like digital rentals, I mean, that's so much more convenient. I think people are way more willing to download a demo than go to Redbox to, you know, and you have to return it.
Absolutely.
People don't want to pick up and return anything, really. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. Which is probably why they're sticking with movie rentals. If they do digital movie rentals, then that makes total sense. Where the fuck did you go?
I didn't want to do it on camera, so I had to blow my nose, so I did it off camera.
Wow, how polite.
I know. I will say though, I like the idea that you mentioned with Stadia. That's good.
Yeah.
That could be a perfect marriage because Stadia needs the help, and Redbox could be the one that could do that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Or maybe Stadia is actually the platform. So why the fuck would they team up with Redbox?
Good point.
Anyway, that's kind of a big deal. I don't know. I've done it before. There's some games I'm like, I just want to try it out. Why not just do it for $3? I think that's what a lot of people do, though. Try it for like a day or two and then just return it. And that doesn't happen enough for them to, you know, what they should get into is the porn industry.
Yeah.
Redbox X. Redbox with 3 X's, bro.
3 X's?
Well, the XXX is like typically that's adult films. You know, that's like a thing that's known. How do you not know that?
I do.
Oh, okay. Does my shirt say dirtbag? I just put on a shirt. All right.
Okay. Let's finally get to some wrestling. So last week, I got some feedback that, you know, if someone's not a wrestling fan, I mean, they're way out of the loop.
Yeah, which most people that would listen to us are probably not wrestling fans. I just want to point that out.
It's not like TV and movies where you at least have heard of these things. If you know, so we're going to try to spare you a lot of the really deep details and try not to name drop as much. We're just going to talk about actual like news, like in general, like bulk news for wrestling. So you said, what the fuck is WWE doing? Why do you say that?
They have... Let me just give you the gist of this stupid storyline. It was this guy. He was always a bad guy. Then he became kind of a good guy. He's actually in real life is married to this girl. Her name is Lana. This guy we'll just call him Big Dude. Big Dude number 1 is what we'll call him. Big Dude number 1 is married to this Lana girl. Fuck off, Fred. Don't give me the snores or the little sleep stuff. Okay. Anyway, she reveals to him she's actually been cheating on him with big guy number 2. They have a big brawl. At one point, the big guy number 1 gets arrested because they put a restraining order on him. Mm-hmm. And the whole time, they're just showing the big dude number 2 making out and pretty much having sex with the Lana lady.
And everyone hates
the whole
girl and
dumb.
the guy, the girl who cheated and the guy that she's with. Obviously, like everyone hates them. They're just like boom, and they've been dragging this storyline out for months now, right?
3 months, and
everyone's like, no one cares, but that's what WWE does. Once they know that you hate something or somebody so much, they just make you hate them more. That is their job.
But their job is not to just put it on TV week after week and waste fucking 30 minutes on a goddamn storyline I don't give a shit about.
But now, if Rusev fights Bobby, if guy number 1 fights guy number 2, we really want guy number 1 to win because we hate guy number 2 so much.
So many times
so
already. They've already fought like 5 fucking times.
No, they fought once. Yeah, they fought. They would run in the ring and pick a fight, but they actually had one match, and guy number 1,
he won.
He won.
Okay, great. Now though,
But now they're doing the marriage.
Yeah, no, okay.
On TV.
So now, this week, guy number 2 and dumb lady are getting married. They're doing this. So it's in the ring, getting married. So much weird shit happens.
So then
This other girl,
Liv Morgan, we'll just name her anyway.
This other girl, Liv, she's been teasing that she was coming back as a different kind of character at some point. We thought she might be joining this really evil fucking dude. Apparently that didn't happen. She comes into the wedding and it reveals she's been in a relationship with this Lana girl too. So now there's like...
Oh, that's
like,
a spoiler for me because I didn't actually finish Raw this week.
So it's like a
they're in a
lesbian
relationship?
Yeah, I don't know. Or like they've
already done it?
They smashed. I don't know. I don't know the details. But like pretty much she reveals like she has feelings for her. It's a weird fucking thing. It's not weird because of the whole lesbian storyline. It's just like...
But that's just a weird twist for the story to go through.
They threw shit at the board and just saw what stuck. That's pretty much what the segment was. There's so much weird shit. Then Rusev comes out of the cake at one point, which is guy number 1. It's so fucking weird. That's how they ended.
But it's so funny. Like, put that on paper, and that's just a funny thing to happen.
So stupid. Here's the thing. That's how the WWE ended the year. That was the last segment they showed for the year of 2019. Was this crazy-ass wedding.
I don't hate that. I don't hate it.
Well, I hate you.
I hate I do hate fucking Bobby and Lana, the guy number 2 and the girl. But that's because that's what, they're heels. That's what their job is. A face is a good guy and a heel's a bad guy, for anyone who doesn't know.
I'm just saying.
That's the fun about it. Like, we really hate Bobby and Lana.
I don't want to spend 30 minutes on this every fucking week.
We don't have to.
Let's not spend any more time on it now.
Okay. So, Mandalorian. It was like it was like one of the main draws for Disney Plus. And yeah, everyone's going wild about all the Disney movies and
Gargoyles.
Stuff at first.
Darkwing Duck.
How much of those have you watched since you've had Disney Plus?
Mandalorian.
How much of Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles have you watched so far?
Yeah, The Mandalorian.
Exactly. You haven't watched them, which I told you a month ago you wouldn't do. And you have not watched them. So now people want to cancel Disney Plus, right?
A lot of people are canceling the movie because here's the thing. Disney didn't think about it, but like Netflix releases shit all the time, so like every week there's new shit you can watch.
Yeah.
Disney, I understand they're not up there yet because Netflix didn't have that at first either. They would just gradually release things.
But Disney doesn't have to pay for the shit they already own, so where is the rest of it?
They still have a lot of, I see what you're saying. Maybe that's how they draw people in. We'll see. They need to start announcing like what's coming and stuff each month because the thing is, Mandalorian's over now. Okay, you drew it out 8 weeks because you would release it, once a week or whatnot. But they need another show to come in like right after. Like HBO does a good job of, for example, Sunday nights are their big nights for HBO for originals, and they will release things, and then like as that show ends, the next week a new show starts that like you're still interested in as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
I just think they have so much more stuff. It's like they built the machine and they turned it on, but now they're not loading it up. Like they need to keep loading because how long it's been since November since Disney Plus started, right?
Was it? Yeah, that's when Star Wars came out.
Yeah,
or Mandalorian rather.
So it's been about 2 solid months.
Yeah. Also, isn't it your buddy Jerry's birthday today?
Happy birthday, Jerry.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
Love you, bro. Miss you.
Oh fuck! Why did I just start coughing? I wasn't even drinking anything.
So yeah. Anyway, we're probably not going to cancel Disney Plus because Brandon likes to have all the shit. But
just this morning they announced that the WandaVision show, which is Scarlet Witch, who we'll get to in a little bit. One of my favorite Avengers. Anyway, her show is being moved up. I think because they're pretty much like, shit, we need something on the service.
So it's coming sooner, is what you're saying?
Yes, it's coming sooner. So there's that.
But it wasn't just announced. I mean, we've known about WandaVision for months, but you're saying, did they put a release date on it?
They're saying it comes out in 2021. How the fuck is that moving it up?
So basically...
Oh, no, they moved it to 2020 now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
They moved it to 2020. That's the big deal. But still, it's 2020. It's probably the later half of it.
I don't know.
Ugh.
I guess we'll find out. But they have so many shows. I mean, they just bought Fox. So... if they just literally go in their archive and put...
Well, they have The Simpsons. Is The Simpsons on there?
Yeah, Simpsons is on there, but, like, where's the rest of this shit?
I mean, they have the old Fox TV shows like X-Men and shit. I mean, I see what you're saying. Maybe they could put, like, 24 and stuff on there. I do think eventually they're going to need an adult section. Here's why.
Absolutely. Yeah. What are they? Are they just trying to stick with like kid-friendly, family-friendly?
At the moment,
right
they
now?
don't have anything above like a PG-13 on there. But I will tell you that they have. Why is Brandon fucking slamming doors in the goddamn house?
I didn't hear.
I
it.
heard the fucking thing. They don't have anything rated R, and they own technically the rights to the Alien and Predator franchise. There's a couple other ones. Actually, shit, Fox owned fucking Ghostbusters.
Well, okay. So, but let's take into account then. So Disney Plus and Hulu are both basically Disney.
That's true. So you think they're using Hulu for their more extreme stuff? So you think like a
Maybe.
Deadpool and stuff like that, they'll be released on Hulu, but not on
On
Disney Plus. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, that means you're making people pay for two fucking services. Either combine them or something.
Well,
Because
they kind of did combine them. I mean, so if you take into account that like Netflix is what $13, but for $16 you can get ESPN, Disney Plus, and Hulu
that's true.
for
That
one
is true.
for one price. It's like $12-13, and you do get both. You know, I don't know. You could look at that as one service, and then if you just want family friendly shit, or you just want Hulu or like more adult shit, get one or the other.
I see what you're saying.
So.
I don't know. Also, I don't know if Ghostbusters own my thoughts. I think it might be Columbia. It doesn't fucking matter.
It does
But
not.
they still own tons of franchises. You know what? I've realized that they haven't put on the Disney Plus, and the reason is because they're going to make their own version of the MCU X-Men, but they never put the old X-Men movies on there. I feel like they eventually might, but it wouldn't make any sense right now if they're trying to reintroduce the X-Men into the MCU. In the next couple of years, there's no way they're putting that on their service.
True.
Maybe you put it on Hulu because
And those, honestly, and I know you might have a different opinion on this, those original X-Men movies were not that great.
one
unpopular
wasn't
opinion?
terrible. No, one wasn't terrible. Two was decent. I always hated the costumes on them.
Three was really
Three was
bad.
garbage. I didn't mind the whenever they did First Class. First Class was good, and then I absolutely
Class was
loved Days of Futures Past. I thought that's how they should have ended that X-Men universe. Days of Futures Past. In my mind, that's where they ended. Then they tried to make Apocalypse and then the Phoenix movie. Fucking terrible. But what did come out of after Days of Futures Past, Days of Futures Past should have been the end, and then the epilogue, which is, in my mind, this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Epilogue to it is Logan, which is one of the best movies, not just superhero movies, but just one of the best movies of all time.
Does Brandon own that, by the way?
I own it on Blu-ray. If you want to watch it, I will happily
have
watch
not
that.
seen it yet.
And I have the Blu-ray that has the color version and the black and white version.
Voice.
Because they did like a noir style black and white, gritty kind of version of it. And me and Brandon actually went to Alamo Draft House to watch Logan in that, and they had a live Q&A with Hugh Jackman and the director after the movie.
Sick.
I know.
I will gladly watch that. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
That's one of the best. It's such a great movie.
It
So
looks good.
So there were good things to come out of the X-Men franchise over at Fox, but I'm also excited to see what the hell they do within the MCU. But either way, Disney needs to get on their shit together, get their shit together, if I can speak.
Absolutely.
And, put more stuff on the service because you need to keep people month to month.
Okay. Not straying too far from Disney, I'm going to let you take this away because you are a much bigger Star Wars fan. But we went and saw the big
Yeah, it's been out now for 2 weeks.
Star Wars. Feel the bang.
It wasn't that big. I mean, it was fine.
Talk about it. Let's
Okay.
go.
Rise of the Skywalker. It's been out for 2 weeks, so we're going to talk about spoilers here. The embargo for spoilers is kind of lifted after 2 weeks. That's how I feel about it. And here's why. The Russo brothers, after Endgame came out, they're like, when can people on the internet start talking about spoilers and not ruin it for people? And they're like, after its second weekend, if you really, really want to see the movie, you'll go see it within those first 2 weekends. If not, it's fine to talk about because they want people to talk about these movies. Same with Star Wars.
So disclaimer, if you don't want the movie spoiled and you're going to watch it soon, for whatever reason, skip ahead 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. That's what, let's do a little beep, beep, beep.
Boop, boop, boop.
Perfect. So, Rise of Skywalker, I came in with very low expectations, mainly because Last Jedi left a bad taste in my mouth. I feel like Last Jedi might age better. Here's why. Like, better than what it is right now with the critics and the viewers. Actually, I think critics loved it. It was just the general public hated it. Point
General
is, though,
public or Star Wars fans?
both? Not with an L, just both. Anyway, so I didn't have much expectations, but it was J.J. Abrams coming back, and he directed The Force Awakens, which I did enjoy. So here's the thing. He had to fix a lot of the issues with Last Jedi. Like, pretty much Last Jedi set up that Rey actually wasn't special. She wasn't, like, She just happened to have the Force in her, but like her parents, nobody in her lineage was actually important. They fixed that. They retconned it pretty, they announced it late in the film, but this has always been a theory. What ended up being the case was she is the granddaughter of Fred
Palpatine,
also known as the Emperor, who made his return. So Palpatine's back, and he's in this fucking awesome dark-ass planet, of this new planet of the Siths. There's all these That was some of my favorite scenes were in that planet. And it's this, in order to go into it, there's, this fucking pyramid with a super low, ceiling that's,
confidence.
Low confidence? Is that the right word? Or you just...
Self-esteem. You said super low. I was
Yeah,
trying
but
to
you think a
finish your
pyramid
sentence.
has fucking self-esteem?
We don't know what happens after this life.
I don't even know what the fuck to say. God damn it, let me finish. Palpatine's back. He's on this animatronic, weird looking fucking, I don't know, thing that holds him up. Like an giant robot arm that holds him up.
Yeah.
He's old as fuck. His hands are all fucked up. His eyes are all yellow, white, and stuff like that. Anyway, he reveals that pretty much he has all these. You don't give a shit about what I'm saying right now.
I'm your grandfather.
Yeah, so he ends up being Ray's grandfather, which is cool because he's the whole time this movie is all about is she gonna succumb to the dark side or not? Big surprise, she doesn't.
I thought she was going to.
No, I knew
And
they weren't.
there's
They didn't
actually,
have the DNA to do that.
But there's a dark, which you mean the balls.
Yeah, they didn't have the balls.
There is a very short clip during this movie of Rey as her dark side self, but it's a dream, right?
Yeah, I mean, so Luke kind of had something similar in fucking Return of the Jedi, but either way, or maybe it was actually Empire Strikes Back that he had that, because that was the whole thing. Was he going to join Darth Vader or not? That's the thing. It's a trope in these fucking movies. Is oh, are they going to join the dark side? Nope. It would be nice if one time somebody really did. I just realized I said that, and that's the fucking story of Darth Vader. I'm a fucking idiot. That's
What's
the whole
that?
prequels. It's he was the one that joined the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, point is, though, it was well done. What I didn't expect was Kylo to switch from dark back to the Jedi side. He comes in as Jedi just Ben Solo at the end. Fucking, I liked him like that. I thought it was badass. He fought the Knights of Ren, which they didn't get enough screen time, and they should have been in The Last Jedi. I should have made more of a big deal of them. They were pretty much the posse that rode with Kylo Ren.
My favorite part of Star Wars is the mitochondria, and a lot of people have a problem.
It's not mitochondria.
What was
And
it?
you always say it's midichlorians, and don't fucking mention that word. Don't you mention that word in my presence.
They're like these little people that are the Force or something. I don't know.
They're little
I
people
like
that are
that
the Force.
idea. I like
Quote
that
of the
idea.
fucking year so far.
It's like Willy Wonka that has those little dudes. What are they called? The Willy Wonkas?
I think they're called the Wonkas, right? Wait, no, what are they called?
The Wonkas?
The Waka Flockas? What the fuck are they called? Oompa Loompas, bro. The Oompa Loompas. Oompa Loompa Doompa Choompas. Anyway.
Rate it. What is Star Wars on your
Rise of the Skywalker. It did.
out of a 10?
Yeah, I know what I'm going to rate.
With only half increments in between.
Don't if I can talk Serenity now. Do not limit me in what I can rate my movies and how I can rate them. You understand?
Go ahead.
Rise of Skywalker 7.5 to 8. Somewhere in between there. So actually I would give it a 7.8 if you would let me.
No, you can't.
Dickhead.
You have to pick.
Point is, though, here's the thing. It finished out that main story. I was satisfied with the actual beats and the ending and everything like that. And it makes me very excited because we're done with the Skywalkers now. Let's start a new trilogy, which they're going to be doing, because starting in 2022, they're going to release a Star Wars movie every year, Disney has said. And I believe the next trilogy is going to be based off of...
Keeping Up with the Solos.
No. What?
Because
That would be a great family comedy, shitty Roseanne spit S-type sitcom. No. Knights of the Old Republic, also known as KOTOR, also beloved by video games and Star Wars fans.
I don't think that they would choose that as the next trilogy.
Well, the rumor is they absolutely are.
I guess we'll find out. Are we done with Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to talk about a game that I played recently that was good. That I got for $1 on the Switch. It's called Ninjin, and honestly, the aesthetic I wasn't into so much as when I was watching a trailer for this, and feel free to look it up if you're into shmups or like shoot 'em ups.
Whoa! Did you just combine shoot 'em ups into one word called schmucks?
Shmups.
Smups.
It's
Sorry.
a thing. It's not, I didn't make that up. That's a thing.
I don't like
already.
it.
Shmup.
We don't need to have a fucking combined word for everything.
Okay. Well, it's a mixture between like a shmup, a beat 'em up, and I don't know. It's just it controls.
Wouldn't that be a shmup up?
Maybe, I don't know, but if you think of like the old school Ninja Turtles game where you can kind of walk around the level up and down and you're attacking. You know,
mean the original OG? Ninja
like the
Turtles
arcade game?
The one that was not like just side-scrolling fighting. You're talking about the one that's like top-down view of you, right?
It's like isometric. Yeah, it's up at an angle and you can kind of walk up and down and left to right.
So like Smash TV style.
Sort of. You know which one I'm talking about? The arcade one, where you can have 4 people playing at the same time.
I know the one that's like the co-op beat 'em up arcade game, very similar to like Double Dragon.
Yeah, like that. Okay, it's like Double Dragon. Okay.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I know what you're talking about.
Except
yes.
it's constantly moving, so your character's constantly running forward, and then enemies are always coming out. And you're a ninja. You're a ninja rabbit, which I don't think rabbits are that cool or whatever. But whatever. It's still the art style is really cool. The gameplay.
Wow,
So,
you're a rabbitst.
shut up. So you could easily just make this a really, easy button mashing like beat 'em up game, but there are so many different cool things that you can do control wise. Whether it's like dashing and attacking, throwing projectiles, you get new weapons. You can kind of like customize your character. It's local co-op. It is online co-op. It's just a really awesome indie game. Really fun, fast-paced style game. I just recommend it. I just wanted to mention it this week because I know a lot of people with Nintendo Switches, and it's a goddamn $1. It is a steal. I think it's normally $5 or $10. So
I would check it out. Also,
Yeah.
you've talked for 3.5 minutes about this, and you're like, "Oh, I just want to talk real quick." And anytime I interrupted, you get so pissed. If you want to run it back for the listeners,
No.
whenever you just go,
no,
shut up.
shut the fuck
Like
up.
I said the last comment, you just go, shut up. You're so
What
pissed.
was it that you had said?
I don't remember. It was
Because you-
I know what it was. It was that you're a rabbist
Right.
because you say you don't
So
like
you
rabbits.
weren't contributing
Well, I was saying that
to the conversation.
you hate the race of rabbits.
I don't hate the race of rabbits. If I was going to pick a game based on what it's based on, like a pirate game or a space game or a rabbit game, I probably wouldn't pick rabbit. But lucky for
Hey,
us,
Mario
it's
versus
still
Rabbids.
a really good game.
Wants to have a talk with you.
Mario vs. Rabbids is also on sale for $15, which makes me think that they're about to drop a sequel soon.
I bet they will. Also, $15 I feel is a steal for that game. I heard that game
Absolutely.
is amazing.
It's an awesome game.
You have it?
It was one of the games that was stolen.
Oh, poo. Or did you leave it somewhere unattended and then it got stolen?
Well, I left it unattended around people I thought I could trust, and then it got stolen.
The moral of the story is don't trust people.
DTA, don't trust anybody.
But you can trust rabbits.
Wow. Way to bring it back.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Way to bring it back around.
Thank you.
Professional. Okay.
Those you're coming out of those claps. I'm looking at the damn audio. Those are getting real close to being clipping over there.
Okay.
Little Mr. Clappy Clap.
Let's-
Calling you Jason Garrett.
Let's pop over to our wrestling news.
Okay, also, before we get into this next wrestling topic, in regards to sports news, when are they going to fire Jason Garrett, the Cowboys?
Why? Didn't they win?
They won, but they didn't go to the playoffs.
That's not their fault. That's New York's
is
fault
their-
for not beating Philadelphia.
It's their fault the week before for not beating Philadelphia.
I guess.
Point is, hopefully I can, when I post this episode tomorrow, safely name it the week the Dallas Cowboys fired Jason Garrett.
Fine.
I really want to name it that because that means I need them to fire him tomorrow and announce it tomorrow.
Fine.
Okay, get on with your WWE news.
Okay. Well, it's not WWE news. It's AEW news. And for anyone out there who doesn't know what AEW is, that is All Elite Wrestling, which right now is the main competition for the WWE. They have, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. They have some really cool guys. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to get into the names. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep this sweet. So there's some big legends from back in the day who are still really active in wrestling, but they're behind the scenes for the most part, or they're doing their own thing. They have podcasts and stuff. Arn Anderson and Taz are both like legendary in the business, and they have now joined AEW. I don't know what roles they're going to take on. I think Taz might take on like a commentation role, like being a commentator.
He was a great commentator in WWE back in the day.
Yeah, he has a great voice. He has a lot of knowledge about the business. And Arn Anderson hopefully is in there on the training and creative side because he's done so much for WWE.
Right. And in regards to the creative, with AEW versus WWE, this is a good segue because I think Arn Anderson brings a lot to the table. I think one of the reasons that guy Arn Anderson left the WWE to join AEW is because he wanted more creative control. No, sorry, I fucked that all up. He wanted less creative control, rather, with the high-ups. He wanted more of just like a collaboration of good creative storytelling.
Yeah.
And everything I've heard in the locker rooms and the backstage is that AEW, which is the competition, the main big boy WWE, they have so much more individual creative control, if you will. And there's a lot more of just collaborating, trying to have more freedom to be creative.
Yeah.
Whereas WWE, it's like Vince and the writers give these wrestlers pretty much a giant script. So it's almost like they're just actors, which of course, like wrestling, to some extent, you're acting. But you want to be able to express yourself and be like free creatively. And they're just having to memorize pages and pages of like word for word promos to give. And that they change on the fucking like daily basis or hourly basis on the day of the show. And it's like, that sounds like a shitty spot to be in compared to the AEW creative, which can just be a lot more free. It would be like if our podcast took off
and then somebody came in and they started writing for us and we had to memorize all this shit.
Exactly.
I'm going to make a quick connection real quick with the current times because we always learn from the past, of course. WCW was at its peak when that locker room was just going wild with ideas and everyone was going out there doing their thing. Then they brought Vince Russo over from WWF at the time to start writing for WCW, and that's when everything went straight in the shitter. So, yeah, it seems like when you give the creative control more to the talent and collaborate, you get a better result. And hopefully WWE realizes that at some point and can kind of loosen up a little bit. There have been some rumors about that, though, that they're letting them go out and improv a little bit more.
Which is good. They
but
need
I think
to do that.
They're picking wisely, I think, on the people that they let do that.
I mean, Bray Wyatt's definitely one of them because I think he has a lot of control over his character, which is
all right.
good.
Let's not get we're starting to drop names now. So
I'm going to name drop real quick. I think I mentioned this to you. I mentioned it to you rather last night. The WCW back in its heyday, that was a big competitive thing on TNT back in the 90s. For those that don't know, they hired Michael Buffer to do the Let's Get Ready to Rumble shit every single Monday. They would do that for the main event. Think about how much money that means, because that guy is like world-renowned, famous for boxing matches doing that. His brother, Bruce Buffer, does the UFC matches, but his whole thing is it's time! Anyway, they both have their stupid catchphrases. They also have their own company that's like all about announcing and stuff like that, commentation.
I did not know that.
Commentary, rather. I don't think I can fucking talk. Yeah, they have their own company together.
Why don't we try to get in that shit, bro?
I know. But the point is, think about how much money WCW is paying that world-renowned, announcer to just say for 2 minutes, like, who's fighting, and then let's get ready to rumble.
Well, he's got to be there. He's got to be there for every match, though. Doesn't he?
No, but I'm saying, so he had to travel with WCW. He was a high individual, profile. Think about how much money they paid just for the fucking announcing of the main event every week.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's like getting Ryan Seacrest or something to follow you around.
Yeah, and just exactly, because he might have only came in the building real quick and left and does. Maybe he has pretty much freedom all week, and then he just has to be there at wherever they're at each, Monday to do the thing or the pay-per-views. But still, that's a lot of money is all I'm trying to say to pay something like that. And maybe that's why WCW didn't know what the hell they were doing. We'll move on, but that's a big deal. Fuck off.
All right, now it's time because it is the new year. It is New Year's motherfucking day. We have to now think back to the last 12 months and decide, what is your favorite TV show? We're going to do this with movies as well. We already did gaming before. What is your favorite TV show or TV moment or something of 2019?
Favorite TV show I was not expecting to like, but did. Maybe because I didn't want them to fuck up the original source material, but we talked about this. I guess it's favorite news show is what I'll say. Watchmen on HBO. We've talked about it a lot on this
Yeah.
podcast.
I loved it.
Great show. I can't recommend it enough. It's so well done, so great, and I'm just excited for them to have eventually announce a season 2. But I think they're waiting until they have the right story for a season 2. So we might not see it in 2020.
Yeah.
We might not see it in 2021. Maybe in just a couple of years we'll see another, which I'm okay with. I like that HBO gives the creators the freedom to be like, come back to us when you have a good story, and then we'll put it out. Like, they don't have to do every. Like, that's what sucks about network television. Every fucking fall, you have a start of a new season.
Yeah.
And you're just
whether they're ready for it, whether the story's
Yeah, it's
right,
24
whether
episodes.
they have an idea for it or not, it comes out
That
like
sounds stressful.
clockwork, and that's how bad seasons happen.
HBO, and I think Netflix is also pretty good about just being like look, Master of None hasn't had a season 3, but I'm sure Aziz will come out with one. So that was my new favorite show. Some other runners up that could have easily been for favorite show of the year: Succession season 2 is great.
This ain't a participation award fucking ceremony, my man.
Also, I'd say fucking
What's your fucking favorite?
Mandalorian and Witcher are good, but I know
Ooh.
my favorite is Watchmen. I'm just
All
saying,
right.
those are some ones I would definitely put up there. I liked those shows. Last year, Succession would have been my number 1, but we didn't do this podcast last year. But that was the best new show of last year, I think, was Succession.
Okay.
Again, HBO.
My turn.
It's not cable, Fred. It's HBO.
It's my turn.
Go ahead.
So I'm choosing this show because I've probably quoted and watched more episodes and clips from this show all year long than anything else. And I was going to choose Monday Night Raw because I do love my wrestling.
Oh,
I was gonna
if you chose Monday Night Raw as your favorite show of 2019, I would have beat your fucking ass. I would put you through a table.
Okay, I might have spent more hours watching Raw this year than anything else because it's a fucking 3-hour show, and I
most
watch
of it
it
sucks.
every week. But I've referenced and loved and recommended this other show more than anything else. That is, I Think You Should Leave. It is on Netflix. It is exactly my humor. I just can't get enough of it. And you referenced the shit out of this
Yeah, I'm the
show
one that
as well.
shows you this show.
No, that's not true.
Yes, I told you that.
It's fine. It's amazing. I love it.
I know. It's great.
And one of my favorite comedians ever is on that show in one scene. Patty Harrison. She's fucking hilarious. She's a trans comedian. Has the darkest humor that I've probably ever seen, and she has an awesome podcast called A Woman's Smile. It is her and another person. Look it up, A Woman's Smile. If you just want, I don't know if anyone who's in here right now or anyone who's listening to this episode remembers when the Game Genies used to do this just completely wild shit after the credits. I would just put these crazy things together with all sorts of sound effects.
Adult Swim style crazy.
Yeah, it was
shit,
weird. That's what their show is all the time, but more cohesive. I mean, they have an idea to the show, and they do have people call in and stuff, but it's hilarious. Anyway,
Also, our sponsor comes from the show this week. You want to bring him up?
yeah, we'll do our sponsor real quick, and then after that, we're going to get on to our favorite movie of the year.
Yep. All right, here we go. Hit it. Ship it.
Who will be the baby of the year? Look at their rolls. Look at their folds. Look at their rummy bummy tummies. Heads are round, bellies are squishy. Look at the toes, lasso many curls and shrimp. Are they ticklish? Are they jigglish? Can they be tricked? Can they be chucked? Which ones will move? Which ones will talk? But more important, which ones can dance? Oh, who will be baby of the year?
Baby of the year.
That was a great sponsor. I would love to actually commentate the Baby of the Year competition, maybe for TV audiences, like they can't hear us in the live audience, but everybody watching Baby of the Year competitions.
Yeah.
Going forward, maybe we just we do the whisper, we do the it's like golf and
Baby of the year.
Okay, we get it. Point is, before we get to movie of the year, let's get to one of the biggest bombs this year that just came out. Cats.
Ooh.
Why the fuck would they first of all release this creepy ass furry movie? You know how I feel about furries, Fred. And secondly, it was never going to do well. It was released alongside Star Wars. They fucked it all up. They had Is it Judy Grinch? Judy, whatever her name is, it doesn't matter. Her fucking hand, her human hand, was in the first release of the movie because they fucking couldn't understand what to do CGI. The CGI is so bad, they're going to lose $100 million, Fred.
Yeah. This is the thing. They keep trying to bring Cats back on Broadway, and it doesn't work because it's just not a good musical. And now they made a movie out
You might
of
piss
it.
some people off by saying that.
I
It's
don't
not
give a
for
shit. It
me.
sucks.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. Trash it.
Trash it. Toss it. Dump it.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, favorite movie of the year?
You go first and I'll go.
Well, shit.
Fred doesn't really watch movies, so this is going to be great. I can't wait to see him squirm. I don't know what movie to do. Well, the Aqua Teen movie came out like 10 years ago, so you can't use that, Fred.
God damn. That was going to be my choice, man. No. I don't know, man. I did go to a couple movies. I saw Endgame. I saw Us. I saw Tag. Wait, was Tag this year?
No, that was 2 years ago. Like 2017.
My perception of time.
Also,
I saw Star Wars.
Us. Us is a great movie. I fucking love Us. And that's not the stupid NBC show. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
Not This Is Us.
the Jordan Peele show. God damn it, the Jordan Peele movie. That's very, very good.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a movie of the year.
God, I hate you so much.
I don't
You're
watch a
literally-
lot of movies.
Yeah, and you also don't watch football, and you talk shit about football. And I'm just
Ugh.
like, you just literally sound like a shitty girlfriend. You sound like a shitty
How do I talk
girlfriend.
shit about football?
Earlier, he goes, when do we record the cast? Oh, I don't want you to just be watching football. And
Yeah, I don't want you to watch football while we're recording the cast
I
because
wouldn't
you
do
get
that. I wouldn't do
distracted.
that, first of all,
you play
dickhead.
chess on your phone.
Sometimes, well, I can't right
This
now 'cause
is
we're
the
live
only
streaming.
time that you haven't been able to like play chess on your
I
phone
know.
during the podcast.
It's very upsetting.
And you don't pay attention.
I pay
But
attention
look at both
plenty.
of us are not on our phones right now, and we're actually probably having a better conversation.
No,
because
we're
of
not.
it.
I'm perfectly fine in the conversation.
Wow.
Your dumb ass is always, what could I do
Wow,
on
what's your
football?"
movie of the year?
I will get to that. Secondly, another thing you said bad about football last night, you were like, why was the UT game on? Because literally half
No,
the
I
people
did
that
not
came
say
to the
why is
party-
the UT game on. We were watching it for like 3 hours
That's how long a
instead of
football game is.
like being at a party. We're at a New Year's Eve party. And we
Yeah, but
couldn't
it's the
start
football
doing what
team
it was
of
we
the
were going
city
to
that
do
you live in.
because everyone's sitting here fucking watching a game. They were 30 points ahead. No one needed to watch it. They were going to win.
I mean, I'm not a UT fan because I went to Texas Tech, but half the party are UT fans or graduates.
It's like
So
put it on in the background on someone's phone or something. You don't have to shut down the whole party for 3 hours for
they
it.
were going to always do that. And it started at 6:30. The party didn't start till 8, so you only had to deal with it for an hour and a half. It might have felt like 3 hours for you because your perception of time is so fucking skewed, but like either way.
Live
my
fast, die
No.
slow.
My favorite movie of the year was Avengers Endgame. Of course it is. It was a conclusion of a 21 movie fucking saga. And actually, the great epilogue to that was Spider-Man Far From Home. But the point is, Endgame was so well done. It was so great. It actually gave me a conclusion to that giant saga they started 10 years ago. I don't know, man. Like you can't end a saga of that many stories and conclude it as well as they did. You can't do that very often. So that's why, for sure, Endgame is my number one movie of the year. And on top of that, Kevin Feige, president of the Marvel Studios, he mentioned that my actual favorite Avenger, that's like left now because Captain America was, but like he's pretty much done now, was Scarlet Witch. She's fucking awesome. Wanda Maximoff. She's actually in the comics, which they might reveal this in the movies now that they own the rights. She is Magneto's daughter. I don't know if you know that, Fred.
Wanda is Magneto's daughter?
Yeah. Her and
I did not
Quicksilver
know
are. Yeah. Anyway, she is amazing. I like her character.
did
I like
he
her character
fuck?
art. I don't know. I mean, he fucked a couple people. I don't know. He's Magneto. He can have sexual relations with whoever he wants.
Woo.
As long as it's consensual, it's fine.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway,
You think that he would have consensual sex? He's like a really, really bad guy. He kills
not
people.
all bad guys are rapists, you fuck.
But he kills people.
That doesn't mean he rapes people, though.
But like, where does he weigh it in his mind? What is worse to him?
Probably the rape.
You think rape is worse than killing them?
We're not having this conversation. We're not having this discussion on the podcast. I'm not gonna.
You're
I'm
right.
not going to
You're right.
weigh the difference between murder and rape. That's not what we're doing.
You're right. Thank you for being the level-headed one.
I know, right? Wanda, Scarlet Witch, if you will. Kevin Feige said that she's the most powerful Avenger, and I'm like, she is. get the fuck out of the way, Thor. Get the fuck out of here, Captain Marvel. Wanda literally was about to crush Thanos. In order to stop it, he had to get his giant ship to start shooting down on not only her and all the Avengers, but also his people, just to get her off of him, because she was probably about to just crush his ass.
Why did she wait so long to get involved?
She disappeared.
Why?
She was disappeared in the snap.
Gotcha.
She came back after the snap.
I honestly, you said she was in like 3 or 4 movies. I only remember her like stopping a car once.
What's the matter with you?
I don't
She's
remember
a fucking
anything else.
She's the better Olsen
I remember when
sister.
she took her top off in Old Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, she did that. Boobies are a way of life, if you will. Or if you won't. Beer, wait, hold on. Brewskis and boobies. That's the name of her.
Beer, butts, and boobs.
Ugh, we sound like such Texans right now.
Okay. We're going to end on our favorite wrestling moment.
Wait, did you really not have a movie of the year at all?
I don't remember what I watched this
hate
year.
you
If I had
so
everything
much.
laid out in front of me, I could choose off the list. I could go, I like that one. But I can't do that.
Why can't you just say Us? Because Us is a great film. Just say
Us
that.
was great. I'll pick Us.
Ugh.
It was a great movie.
Ugh.
Okay. Best or favorite wrestling moment of the year, because wrestling, you can't really like say Raw this week was my favorite, or Survivor Series was my favorite. I guess you could pick a favorite pay-per-view or something, but there's so much happening. It's better to just pick a moment. We got NXT, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Indies. We could pick from anything.
All right.
I guess I'll go first on this one.
Good.
My favorite moment was when they finally gave Bray Wyatt the title. Actually, you know what?
No. You just said it. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
This is a guy that got the title with his old character. That was like a hillbilly kind of horror type of Chainsaw Massacre character. They only gave it to him for like a month. It was like a shit title run. So he has this new crazy like Mr. Rogers / like demon character who's like split personality. They finally gave him the title, and like he's the most creative thing I think on WWE right now. So it's great for them to like respect that and like say, here you go, take the run for like 6 months as the title. And even if he loses the title, which he will probably at WrestleMania, he had a great run, and he'll continue to have badass stories with his character.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the title to be interesting, is what I'm saying.
Well, the reason that I was going to second guess that is because I feel like they did it because they knew that's what we wanted, but they don't seem to. They seem kind of stuck. Like, he needs to wrestle more. He needs to like wrestle on TV more, have more matches. That's my big complaint about Bray Wyatt right now. More
I like
matches.
it because it makes it more mysterious when he does wrestle.
I know,
because his matches
but-
are always great because they're very like unique and shit. If you don't know, look up this guy named Bray Wyatt.
Look up the
Bray.
Fiend.
Yeah, Wyatt. His new character with the Fiend and his like Firefight Funhouse, like Mr. Rogers style character. Because he also wrestled as that, which was kind of cool.
They need to pump it up. They need to pump up the
All right,
jams.
fine. Okay, well, we're moving on to mine. You ready?
Yeah.
It was Kofi Kingston win the title at WrestleMania.
When I was about to backtrack, I was gonna say WrestleMania moment too,
Yeah, because
which was the Rousey Lynch.
yeah,
Flair
that was
match.
fine too. That was
Because
good.
that got me back into wrestling.
Yeah,
I've only
Becky
been
Lynch
back
did
into
a
wrestling
great-
for a year now.
She had a great year, but I'm saying Kofi Kingston came out of nowhere, and I think he was the first black champion in like for the main title in like 9 years.
Yeah, because before that we had Booker T and Ron Simmons has been
There's others too,
not
but like,
WWF,
but the thing is, Kofi, they called it Kofi Mania. He had to like step in because one guy got injured that was actually supposed to get the title, which is that guy with the fucking weird mask that nobody cares. It doesn't matter. This guy was an 11-year veteran of WWE. He's in this goofy ass staple called the New Day. This group, no one really take them seriously. They were always like mid cards, and then this guy out of nowhere has just a great couple matches with the bad guy champion, and after like 2 months of build up. Everyone wanted it. They gave it to us. Like he got the fucking title. It was. I hope that has to be like the best moment in probably his wrestling career once he's done with everything.
Yeah.
Just because the fans are the ones that like pushed for that, and that's why it happened. And that's crazy, and it's awesome. And again, I don't know, like have more fucking diverse champions.
Yeah.
There's tons of black superstars or Asian superstars. like Hispanic, all these things like Lucha Libre guys, Luchador. That Lucha Libre is sorry, an AEW like team. Anyway, those people deserve title pushes as well, and so don't keeping it on like fucking Brock Lesnar for 3 years and Roman goddamn Reigns doesn't do shit. Even though I understand that Roman Reigns is a minority, we fucking still hate him all the same.
You know, Eddie Guerrero has held it. Jinder Mahal has held it.
That was actually a big push. Yeah. Where the fuck is Jinder Mahal now?
Yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. But they've been really pushing their lucha kind of roster in some of the smaller titles. I mean, Andrade now has the U.S. title. Rey Mysterio just had it. Rey Mysterio just had a title shot against Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series or SummerSlam or something. I forget which. And there's rumor that now he's going to move on to get a title run soon. So
we'll see if they do that. That'll be the last title run of his like career, pretty much. And we'll see if they do. That would be like 2 years in a row, though. They just like give the fans exactly what they want.
Yeah,
I don't see them doing that.
Well, I don't necessarily want to see Rey as champ. So
yeah, no offense to Rey and no offense to Dave, Pleasure Cruise, but we don't really want to see that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll. That's pretty much it. But let's do. What's your favorite moment of the last decade in your life? I don't give a shit what it is.
Favorite moment of the last decade in my life was probably finally moving away from my hometown and moving to Brooklyn.
Nice. Okay.
Because it sparked so much more out of me, and it encouraged me, and it opened up the possibilities for me because I had felt like I only had so many options. Before I made that move, I had so many options in my life. And after that, I started to realize that everything is replaceable. If you don't want it in your life, you can take it out. If it's a job and you're miserable at your job, if it's a relationship that's toxic, whether that means a romantic or friendship, whether that means that you hate your living situation, you don't want to live with a roommate, you can leave. If you don't like your neighborhood, you can leave. That's why I've lived in probably 12 different places in the last 7 years, and I've worked at 12 different places in this last 7 years because, and you know, this isn't a good thing necessarily, but I've been in maybe 3 different relationships in the last 7 years because I've learned that you don't have to settle for things, and if you're willing to put in the effort, if you're going to tear down, you have to build back up. And if you don't have it in you to do that, then, do it at your own pace. But I'm willing to do that, and I have the option to do that. And so just that's my favorite moment of the last decade was when I decided to do that. And I've kept
motivational speaker over here. Great. I'm going to steal from you and just totally say that, like, me moving to Austin, same thing. Because when I moved to Austin, though, I just really wanted to be here. I like the city much more than Houston. Houston was where I grew up. It's not where I wanted to fucking be. But like when I moved here, I took a 50% pay cut, no insurance, and when I had insurance previously my other job, just to move to the city. My brother was a big help to like help me move in or let me move in with him and stuff like that. But I will say, from where I ended in Houston to where I am now, fucking game changer. Like just totally different, like quality of life and just like. Career-wise, professional. What are you doing with your finger on the fucking thing, Fred? Your finger's all over the... Jesus Christ.
It doesn't affect the podcast.
Fucking live streaming. What are you doing? You showing people your cuticles?
No, I was checking something.
Don't play chess while you're on the podcast. Anyway, when I first moved here, though, I struggled financially and like career-wise just because I was like, I moved to a new city. I had to like build my way back up, like you said. And to where I am now, absolute game changer, and I wouldn't trade it for the fucking world. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Favorite moment of the decade. Deciding to actually quit my job in Houston and move on a whim here.
Yeah, and I hope no one at home thinks like, well, easy for two guys with money or has this.
I actually didn't have money.
I had no money when I moved. I think I had $300 that didn't even cover, the first room that I got into. So I had to get a job like super quick and make it happen. Yeah. So. Well,
I mean, I had the help of B-Pain, but that's which is important. But if you have a friend that's willing to let you,
these guys put me up. Ryan and B-Pain helped me with this move to Austin, and without them, it would have been a much more difficult transition. So thank you guys for that as well.
Well, thank you for being here.
But I didn't have that in New York so much. So
No, for sure you didn't. But yeah, so I guess that's the thing. Like, if you have a place to stay, at least work your magic in that city. If you just want to move there, I just fucking do it. I don't know. As long as, also, don't do this when you're like 42 with fucking 3 kids. That's not the time to do this.
No, I
Man, you gotta
completely
think about other
disagree
people.
with you.
I don't know. You got to think about people. You have to provide for a fucking family.
You have to provide for a family, but you don't have to live a life you don't want to live.
No, I get that, but like, I'm saying, like, if you're doing that though, maybe have some shit set up before you make a big move, because you can't just like
plan it well.
Yeah, be more planning based versus where we were.
But in the 7 years that I moved, I've watched people who were miserable when I left way more miserable now because they stayed because of a marriage or kids or a house that they own or whatever the fuck it is.
We're not telling people to leave
I'm
their
not telling you
family.
to leave your
Jesus.
family, but change your life. If you have to change your life. If you want to divorce, get a fucking divorce and see your kids however you can. I'm just telling you, you have choices in this world.
Well,
That's
kids
it.
need insurance is what I was trying to say.
We care about the kids.
You clearly don't.
But everyone's going to be happy when you just do what makes you happy.
Fine.
Right?
Yeah, no, you're kind of right. Motivational Fred over here. Let's give him a round of applause.
Saying, baby.
You got anything? Oh, shit. Sorry, we didn't bring you over. You want to give your best moment of the year?
God damn it, John.
Hey, Fred. You know I ain't gonna leave this podcast for the new year about just for y'all two. You know what my favorite moment was?
What is it, John?
Remember that one time when we had that slinky, and then we combined it with the other slinky, and then we lubed it all up, and we went sleek, slack, slink, slack. That's my favorite moment, Fred. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you for keeping it, short and sweet.
Of course, and thank you for keeping, that inside of you for so long, because it was a pleasure for you and for me. I tell you one thing. All right, we'll see you later.
That.
Happy New Year!
Hey, Happy New Year, everyone!
Bye.
2020, another year in the books. Thank you for listening to Between Two Seasons. After this, are we getting back into Game Genius now?
No, we have like another couple weeks.
All right, we have another couple
done,
weeks. Baby. All right. Be sure to let your friends know about us. Please, it's the only way that we can grow. Let them know about Between Two Seasons, Game Genies. We do everything on our own, completely self-produced. And we love the fact that anyone gives us the time of day. But if you have friends who listen to podcasts or just like nerd shit, let them know about us.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
free
We have 2
to
more
do that.
episodes after this episode coming out before we go back to Game Genies. And also, since we've live streamed, Fred, people have been able to see how much champagne I drink during an episode. I think it's my 5th glass. So
go to our Instagram, and maybe we'll just keep doing this, and then we can even chat with the people a little bit after we end this, if they want to. And we'll see you next week.
You know what? Genies and tweeners, we want you to come between our seasons.
Time check?
Time check. We're at 42 minutes.
Really? Already?
No, we're at 16. The fact that you couldn't tell that the fucking time was that big of a jump that you actually kind of believe me for a split second, that makes me worry, Fred. If we've been doing this for 42 minutes, Jesus.
I didn't know how long we spent on the New Year's Eve shit, man.
This is a decent amount of time, but not that long. We're at 16 and a half minutes.
Okay.
God damn it, Fred. Why is the
It just
phone
keeps
always...
falling.
Just get a pop socket like me.
I have a pop socket, but
Then just
watch.
put it up.
It's going to look like shit with the pop
Mine's
socket.
literally on the pop socket.
Is my thing just turned off? Weird.
He'll figure it out. Okay, let me continue with what the hell I was saying about you're going to be Gary. What's the guy you listen to? Gary what?
Uncle Gary?
No. The Gary guy that does like the podcast.
Gary Thunderchucks.
Is that his name?
No.
Oh man, because that's a great porn star name. That's a great action star name. That's a great porn
Gary
action starting.
Thunderchucks. Dude, that's
Dude,
my
Gary
new character.
Thunderchucks.
That's
I
gonna be
like
a new
it.
character for the new season of Game Genies.
I love it. He needs to be aggressive as
I'm gonna
fuck.
write that down too.
Well, it's on the podcast, so it's fine.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
All right.